It's Wednesday, October 4. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. Japan, the main market for the island's premium brand Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee, has reportedly refused to enter into new contracts with local producers. According to Agriculture and Commerce Minister Carl Samuda, Japanese coffee traders have outrightly refused to pay more than $40 per kilogram for Blue Mountain coffee and have rejected attempts to renegotiate contracts that would see them paying more for the premium brand. The US $40 per kilogram is reportedly less than the $60 that the Japanese have been paying in the last 2 years. This comes amidst complaints from Blue Mountain coffee farmers about the price at which they are being paid per box of coffee. Managing Director of the Mavis Bank Coffee Factory, Norman Grant, says the final price is dependent on the price that processors are able to garner from traders. In the meantime, the government says it will be providing $80 million to help coffee farmers resuscitate their holdings. Mr. Samuda says the government wants to help farmers increase their productivity so that they are better able to see positive returns. He was speaking at a press conference at the ministry in Kingston yesterday. National Security Minister Robert Montague has staunchly defended the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA. The minister was piloting the MOCA bill in Parliament yesterday.
Since then, MOCA has, in collaboration with other law enforcement agencies, contributed significantly to the investigation and prosecution of serious crimes. MOCA's success is due largely to the collaborative efforts of law enforcement agencies.
Among the issues addressed in the clause of the proposed bill are the administration, financial provisions, oversight committee, protection of intelligence officers, and protection from liability and suit as it relates to MOCA. According to the Security Minister, the passing of the MOCA bill can only serve to strengthen the ability to manage organized crime.
MOCA will provide the sustained, focused, strong cross-cutting investigations and integrate complex legal, financial and personal data from diverse sources and jurisdictions, which will aid in tracing and seizing the proceeds of organized crime over the long term. In short, Mr. Speaker, MOCA is here to help to take the profit out of crime. MOCA is expected to break the power of major criminals, eliminate the influence of facilitators, and eradicate the pervasive corruption that allows criminality to flourish.
Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the ministry's initiative to prevent cervical cancer through the use of the human papillomavirus, HPV, is continuing.
The Ministry of Health has identified, as part of its commitment to public health, cervical cancer as a major public health problem in Jamaica, as almost 50% of women who are diagnosed each year will die from this preventable disease. The Ministry of Health has therefore introduced this HPV vaccine to provide 90 to 100% protection against HPV types 16 and 18 into the routine immunization program. This HPV vaccine is being offered to girls in grade 7, that is grades ages 9 to 14 years of age, the majority being 11 to 13 years old, free of cost, so at the expense of the taxpayer. And this vaccine, Mr. Speaker, very important to note, is not mandatory. It's not mandatory.
The disease is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in Jamaica. Minister Tufton says approximately 392 women are diagnosed with the disease each year in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, the estimated cost is of the just under 400 cases annually, Mr. Speaker, is some $274 million. I should point out that this figure is only for radiotherapy and does not include diagnosis and chemotherapy.
The ministry has adopted several initiatives to ensure the HPV vaccine program is rolled out in a safe and effective way, including training sessions for healthcare workers and a public education campaign. Persons with concerns about the vaccine can call the ministry's toll-free line 1-888-1-LOVE or 1-888-663-5683. That's 1-888-663-5683 to clarify their concerns. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen has proclaimed October 10 as World Mental Health Day under the international theme, Mental Health in the Workplace. The Governor General read the proclamation during a ceremony at King's House. The day will form part of activities to mark Mental Health Week to be observed starting October 8. The Governor General, in his address, urged Jamaicans to participate in the slate of activities scheduled to be held across the country on that day. And we go to news from the region. The EC dollar remains strong despite the impact of Hurricanes Irma and Maria on some Caribbean islands. That's the word of the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. According to him, the biggest threats are global warming and climate change, issues that will be highlighted when officials attend the upcoming annual meeting of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank in Washington.
It seems to me that there are two immediate tasks facing our region. We have a lot of things to do. The first is to get the international community to fully embrace the reality that climate change is real and action is required now. That's number one. In taking action, we must confront the analytical absurdity and callous classification which puts our poor, vulnerable, small countries in a category described as rich, such that we cannot access concessional financing and grants for reconstruction. That's an absurdity. And if we didn't know it before, after Hurricanes Irma and Maria, we ought to know that now. So that next week and the week after, those of us who are in Washington will be making this point just as it was made in the United Nations at the General Assembly a week and a half ago.
The Dominican Republic's international flag carrier, Power, has donated a quantity of school supplies to Barbudan and Dominican children affected by Hurricanes Irma and Maria as they resettle into new institutions of learning. Power added Antigua to its network of destinations in 2015. The hurricane disrupted service to Antigua. They will begin a once-weekly service to Antigua as of October 7. The official opening of the Basic Sciences facility of the American University in Barbados took place last weekend. Founded in 1999, the AUIS was previously known as the University of St. Eustace School of Medicine and was established by a group of medical school educators and administrators. In 2013, the school came under new ownership and management. A decision was then taken to move the university to Barbados. At that time, plans were disclosed to deploy a patented medical information technology device called the Clinical Activity Rotation Log, or CARL. The device contains the templates for state-of-the-art training programs that encompass traditional Western medicine as well as the proven aspects of complementary and alternative medicine, now called CAM. The first group of medical students to enter the American University of Integrated Sciences School of Medicine graduated on the weekend. And time now for our sports. And in sports, we bowl off with cricket. West Indies selectors have retained the 15-man squad, which toured England, the two-test tour of Zimbabwe, starting later this month.
All-rounder Jason Holder will once again take charge of the Caribbean side, marking his 6th test tour of duty as captain. Despite losing the recent 3-test tour of England 2-1, the Windies captured the imagination with a stunning 5-wicket victory at Headingley to level the series. The chief selector, Courtney Brown, said the players had shown the necessary qualities which were key to the side's further development. West Indies have never lost a test to Zimbabwe, winning 6 of the 8 career meetings, and will fancy their chances against a side which has played just 13 tests inside the last 4 years, winning just 2 and losing their last 9. The two teams last met in the Caribbean 4 years ago when the hosts swept the 2-test series.
Meanwhile, Englishman Graham West has been retained as head coach of West Indies A for the upcoming series against Sri Lanka A. West Indies A faced the Sri Lankans in 3 4-day tests from October 11 to 29 in Jamaica, before taking on the tourists in a 3-day, 1-day series from November 1 to 5, also in Jamaica. And in other sporting news, Tokyo Olympic organizers have reportedly said prolonged summer rain has temporarily brought high levels of bacteria to a venue intended for triathlon and marathon swimming at the 2020 Games. The admission came during a visit by International Olympic Committee officials to assess Tokyo's readiness to host the Games with just a little over 1,000 days to go. Samples taken from late July through early September at the Odaiba Marine Park showed elevated levels of pollution. Sports director for the Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee, Koji Morifushi, has rejected the idea of changing the venue, pledging that measures will be taken to provide an excellent environment for the sport during the 2020 Games. And that's news and sports. Weather is next. Thanks for staying with us, and time now for weather report and forecast right here on PBCJ, the People's Station. Now, the satellite imageries indicate that a broad area of low pressure has formed over the southwestern Caribbean Sea. Environmental conditions appear generally conducive for development, and this system could become a tropical depression within the next few days. It is drifting in a northwestward direction across the northwestern Caribbean and adjacent land areas. It could or should be in the Gulf of Mexico by the weekend. Meanwhile, a trough of low pressure located over Cuba and near the northwestern Bahamas is producing a large area of disorganized showers and gusty winds. Although significant development of this system is not expected due to strong upper-level winds, this system will likely produce heavy rains and gusty winds over portions of the Bahamas during the next couple of days. And a tropical wave across Jamaica and a trough across the central Caribbean continues to affect the island. The tropical wave is expected to move west of Jamaica. Meanwhile, the trough is expected to linger in the vicinity of the island for the remainder of the week. We experienced some isolated showers across eastern parishes earlier today. This afternoon, we will have widely scattered showers and thunderstorms across sections of most parishes. And tonight, it will be partly cloudy. And time now for extended weather report and forecast, as well as our travel planner. And that's a weather report and forecast. Join me again tomorrow, same time, same place for more news, sports, weather, right here on PBCJ, the People's Station. I'm Carol Francis.